Hey, y'all, this is Steve Young with Bladerunner and the Outlaw Show.
Now, did the Eagles come and ask you if they could do Seven Bridges Road, or how did that happen?
No, once a song is released, then anyone can do it. Actually, they're supposed to get a performance license from the publisher. If a song has not been released, then they do have to get permission. But once it is released out into the world by somebody, then anyone really has a right to do it as long as they follow the technicalities, which most of them really don't follow them very well. But anyway, the Eagles heard, I believe how it happened was that they simply heard Ian Matthews' arrangement of the song. And they probably already knew of the song and liked it, but when they heard that arrangement, I think it sold them, And I think they did a takeoff on his arrangement, and they would end their shows with the song. It would be the very last thing they would do, just because they enjoyed doing it,
Mm-hmm.
And then that wound up on their live album and consequently on their Greatest Hits Volume 2 album.
And you still got paid for it, right?
Well, yeah, at least if once the money filters down, or if the record labels pay the publisher, if the publisher pays me, and I'm pretty cynical about all this. I mean, eventually you'll get at least some of the money.
May not get a brand new car, but you might get an oil change.
Yeah, you get some of it, because it goes through a lot of hands.
Yeah.
And after all, the laws of this country are not for artists; they're for capitalists.
Exactly. And there's a big difference between the mentality of the two.
Absolutely.
What did you think of the Eagles' version of Seven Bridges Road?
I think it's very good. I think they did a fantastic version of vocal and everything. And of course, it's the biggest cut of my life so far. So I mean, I'm always interested in anyone's version of a song of mine.
Was there a behind-the-scenes story or a true story to Seven Bridges? How did you end up writing that?
Well, there's a myth about it that it's about going to Hank Williams' grave. This is kind of complicated because it's a kind of a myth, and yet there's an element of truth to it. And I wrote this song about this old road that goes out of Montgomery, Alabama, into the countryside. You literally cross seven bridges, and you're on this dirt road with moss in the trees and old oak trees and all that. Beautiful country art used to be. And sometimes we would go to Hank's grave when we came back from there, and which was over in the city. And actually, the song was just about going out that road, out into the country. And there's this rumor that it's about going to Hank's grave, which, like I say, is sort of tied in, but it's not exactly true.
Bladerunner and the Outlaw Show.
BladeRunnerRadio.com.